for now. I got new lighting, and so I have to get used to it. Um, I got to play with it a little bit. That was hella bright. Okay, alrighty then. Hello everybody. So this was originally Push to Talk, and it is now called Game On. It is good to see all of you today. I will be running solo today because Tonic is not available. We do try to have a co-star every time we do this, so at least, a guest or a co-star to talk to bounce ideas off of. But I will be bouncing ideas off of you guys today in chat instead of Tonic. So what we're going to be covering today, really quickly, is the month of February. Okay, so it is now obviously March. We're almost halfway through March. And I kind of thought to myself, wow, February was a big month in gaming. This month, not as much in terms of, hit releases and things of that nature. February, though, was a big month. And I wanted to recap that month, starting with Anthem and jumping through Jump Force, Far Cry, and Metro. And then we'll go into our news of the week as we usually do, followed by the follower forum section for questions, okay? So let's go right in. I got a video here that doesn't sum up my feelings of Anthem, but it does a good job of exemplifying them slightly. So we're going to start there, I think, guys. I definitely want to start with Anthem because Anthem was one of the games for 2019 that was supposed to just blow everybody's mind. So I want to start there. Let's go to about right here.
Trivial activities, or used such broken fundamental development like a crutch as badly as Anthem has. The game truly likens itself already to Fallout 76, and when hearkening back to how EA ghosted Mass Effect Andromeda almost immediately after release, and now knowing that Anthem, in our small statistical sample size at least, is performing far worse than Andromeda did, I sincerely ask you, all of you who are watching this, where you think the 10-year plan is actually headed.
It's a fair
If it were to
question.
end up working out and in 6 years we can all look back, have a laugh, have a glass of scotch or a cigar and say, wow, what a game. I'm sure glad Upper Echelon was wrong.
I couldn't
what
agree
a
more.
prick that guy is. Well,
Yep.
Jolly good on that front. But what's more likely here? Really, be honest. To the fans of Anthem somehow soldiering on despite the fact that half the gear simply does not work, the network errors are still in full swing.
Network errors have gotten
difficulty
better.
is just insane health and damage scaling.
Yeah.
The last two, and frankly the apex tiers of difficulty in the whole game that were supposed to be what we grind for and strive to reach, are literally useless, and BioWare is now banning players that simply played their broken game.
So many
because they
banned players.
opened the broken chests in the broken game that BioWare made themselves. To the silent fans persisting through all of that, you are a hero, a truly unsung patient.
He goes, you are a god. You are a hero, essentially. So the thing about Anthem, guys, for me anyway, is it's not great. It's not bad. It's not a horrible game. I haven't played it, but I've watched probably, I don't know, 20 to 30 hours, somewhere around there of gameplay of it, which I think is enough to say, okay, this is or this isn't a good game. And it's just not a great game. It's a good game in the sense that you can play with friends. It does that well. But it's not, it lacks things like the character tree, like the development tree. It's not any good. It doesn't feel like you really get to customize your character. Not character, your, what are they called? The damn machine things. Frick. You know what I'm talking about. There's not a great way of making it yours. And what really frustrates me about Anthem is that it could have been an amazing RPG game. There are like things sprinkled in this game that you go, wow, like the voice acting and the mouths on the on each of the characters are so in sync. It's so beautiful that it makes me beg for a greater RPG single player experience. But instead we get this long drawn out, like money making, just what everybody else is doing, which essentially let's make it multiplayer so that everyone can be involved, so that people will spend money. Let's make it shiny so that people will spend money. And the things I think that would have made it great, they didn't play to enough. It's as if they started leaning into, okay, let's Let's make part of this game a single player RPG experience. I mean, the story's not that great. It's not horrible, but it's not that great. I'm jumping a lot right now because I'm just so frustrated with this game because it could have been so much better. Now, is it the same as Fallout 76? In that video we just watched, he goes, this is essentially like Fallout 76. Now, I wouldn't go that far. Like, this is not that bad. Fallout 76 was a dumpster fire, an absolute dumpster fire. It is not that bad, but it is not great. And I wish they would have stuck to the single player focus because it would have been amazing. Guys, it would have been amazing. If you haven't seen the voice acting and the NPCs in this, it's second to none. I can't think of another game that nails it as well as this game nails it. The cutscenes are amazing. Everything is so beautiful, and it just feels empty. Now, there is a $15 version of this game, okay? And that $15 version, I think, is worth it. It's absolutely worth it. But for $60?
Stop it!
Are you serious? $60? Now, what they're promising us that over the years to come, that it'll pay itself over. But I need to see that first because all these companies are cash grabbing. That's what they do. They cash grab. And they hyped this game to death. They got their cash. And what is to encourage them to keep developing this game, if not for money? And people are so frustrated with it. Do you think that they're going to spend money in the new editions? I don't know. I don't know if they will. So that my thing about Anthem is it's not Fallout 76, but it's not God, I don't know. It's just not revolutionary like it could have been. So that sucks. Let's move on to Jump Force, guys. Jump Force for me was kind of strange. I don't really play fighter games, period. So that didn't really help me.
Jump Force is a new game that came out that's basically just an anime fanfic wet dream.
There we go.
You take a bunch of anime characters, they put them in here to fight each other in
This
just
guy.
one absolute mess of a game.
Let's fast forward. The biggest issue I have with this game, guys, is look at these the cutscenes and things in this game are shit. Absolute garbage. It's like
This
cringe.
whole
Look
game
at this
just
guy.
looks like a child playing with action figures of their favorite anime characters.
What he just said. It's pretty much how I feel. Look at this. Goku straight looks like an action figure.
Undoubtedly, the first thing you noticed was the Go-Go Gadget extendo neck from Riley Reid-Chun during the beginning of the cutscene. It just looked fucking disgusting. Now, I don't understand why they'd even bother making cutscenes like this. Honestly, just tell it through text.
I can't. Now, what I will say is
They're not
that I
gonna
don't know
show
if he
any
has
more of
any
these
battle
exposition
footage in this.
cutscenes.
The
This
fighting in this
just like
game is pretty dope. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
Clearly.
It's
This
but
is truly
look
the
at
worst
that.
animation
That is
I've seen in a
Holy
AAA game in at
shit.
least a decade.
Oh, I gotta see that
with no
again.
effort put out clearly. This is truly the worst animation I've seen in a AAA game, and it
So the story option in this game, it's oh my god, it's so bad. The graphics look worse than I thought. It is horrible, BitDan. It is horrible, man. I can't even. Now, what I will say is the animations when they're fighting, I don't know if there's anything in here of them actually fighting, is nice. It's great. It's very smooth. Yu-Gi-Oh, who I wish would have been a good character, is awful. I don't think there's anything in here. But the fighting for this game is good. It's worth playing if you like that type of thing. But it's not going to even sniff Super Smash Brothers. It's not going to sniff Tekken and Mortal Kombat and things like that in terms of, in my opinion.
Counters are now open.
Here we go. I also hate that they always speak Japanese.
Oh damn!
Okay, I hate that he's doing a training session. Here we go. Right here.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can
Really,
help.
YouTube? Really?
This sentence is grammatically correct.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Like, look at this. This is dope.
Stop blocking. I don't get.
Yeah! As soon as they stop fighting, the game is just garbage. When they're fighting,
Excellent.
very good. When they're not fighting, holy crap. Like, look at this. It's so bad. I don't even know how that gets it. How does that get in a game? How does that happen? How do you allow that? How do you put your name on that? Oh man, BitDan says Jump Force doesn't have King K rule, so it's not for you. Yeah, you're a Smash Bro. You're literally a Smash Bro. So short of the long with Jump Force is lots of characters. I think there's like 40. That's cool. I only knew like maybe a fifth of them. Now I don't watch anime a ton, but I will say that I knew some. I didn't know enough to really feel like I cared. And I watch a fair amount of anime. Now I do not watch Japanese.
News for you. You are mine now. You belong to me.
Oh, I gotta put that in front. Oh no. Thank you so much, Razor Boy. Oh, you're the best, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think we're at 6 now. 6 subs. I believe that is correct. At 10 subs, we're doing a giveaway, or at 150 followers. So just a reminder. Thank you so much for that support, brother. Yeah, I just don't know enough of the characters. And I know a fair amount of anime. Now, those like Tonic, who know every anime, they knew like all of the characters. And that's great. But for me, it did nothing for me, and it was a big flop. Now Far Cry. Oh, this is gonna be fun. What do you guys think we got out of Far Cry? More Far Cry, because that's what Far Cry does. It makes more Far Cry. This game is more DLC than new game. This game, I was hyped for this. I so badly want Far Cry to be good. And yet, it just never is. Let me rephrase. I so bad want Far Cry to be great. And yet, it never is. It is still good. What it does well. But it's so shallow. It's so surface level. It just really frustrates me because if you could add some good NPCs, which this game does not have, by the way. This is Far Cry New Dawn. If you could add some of those elements, like if Anthem and Far Cry could have a baby, boom, it'd be beautiful. But they didn't have a baby. They're still single, and they don't even know that each other exists. Oh, you haven't? Well, you're about to see. I would not recommend 8-bit. My son loves Far Cry. I hope the new one is decent.
New Dawn felt really short. Outside of the mindless violence and few side quests, there's really not a lot to do in this game. And if you're not enjoying it with a buddy, you're probably going to get less value for your money. It feels like half of the game Far Cry 5 was for more than half of the original price, and I can't say...
How are you going to charge that much money for a game that is placed in the same environment as Far Cry 5, with essentially the same weapons as Far Cry 5, with the same mechanics as Far Cry 5? Are you kidding me?
Right now that there's great value in spending $40 on it. It just felt lacking. That isn't to say that the game is bad. It's
because Far Cry games aren't bad. They're not bad. They just never take that next step.
It's just not amazing. It falls into the good score that Ubisoft seems to be shooting for. It's like they're not trying to win any Game of the Year awards or anything like that. Alright, I'm going back up.
Couldn't agree more with what he just said.
Oh shit! I fell too hard! Woo! I fell through the world.
You broke the game.
I didn't dislike the game, but I didn't love it. I just had...
That is Far Cry in a nutshell. I didn't dislike the game, but I didn't love it. You're not going to walk up to a Far Cry game and go,
Excellent.
But you're not going to say, God, that game sucks. You're just not. So the short version of how I feel about Far Cry is that it's more Far Cry, and that's not very good, and I'm disappointed. Now, the one Far Cry I've never played is Primal, so I don't know if that one's good or not. But I haven't played this one either, and I don't plan on it because it's Far Cry. So yeah, underdeveloped characters, no real sense of connection to the story is what I got, and I watched a good amount of this game, and it just that's how I feel about it. Okay, last up, Metro. Metro was another release. Tropy!
Hello, cutie pie.
Metro Exodus was another game that was released in February. I have not watched any Metro, so full disclosure, I don't really have any opinions on it. I chose not to watch it because I actually recently just bought... One sec, chat. One sec, chat. Okay. I just recently bought this, and I will be playing the first two Metros at some point on stream, and then buying Metro Exodus. It's one of those franchises that I feel like I am going to enjoy. So I've chosen not to watch any content of Metro Exodus, just because I don't want any spoilers. But from what I hear, it's pretty good. Tropy, you're not late. I'm just early, so my apologies on that. Okay. That's how I feel about February. He's a big for me. I thought it was going to be amazing. I actually planned on getting Anthem. I planned on getting Far Cry, and I planned on getting Metro. And the only game I plan on getting now is Metro. And I haven't even watched gameplay of it. Really disappointing month. Is Metro multiplayer? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. So let's move on to news of the week. This is the segment of the show where we talk about something. We talk about something every time we do a show. But we talk about a specific topic that's more serious, has a little more depth to it, okay? So esports teams are starting to train more like traditional athletes. And this makes me so happy. So happy. Guys, all the sitting that esports athletes do. I was at the Arlington Esports Arena yesterday, which is the largest dedicated facility to esports in North America, and I was talking to one of the guys. We got to see the backstage and like the control center, all that good stuff. And I was talking to the guy, and he goes, "Yeah, these people they travel weekly to different places in the country. They're playing 60 to 80 hours a day." Or, I'm sorry, a day. Jesus, you'd be dead. A week, which means that they are sedentary for 60 to 80 hours a week, every week, and traveling. That takes a toll on your body. I don't want to be a member of Quartz. Are you serious? What? Okay, well, that's a whole nother issue. I guess we're not going to be able to read the whole article. But the short of the long about this article is that they're recognizing that esports athletes need to work out. Like, for the obvious reasons of, hey, like, Pillsbury Doughboy, you're sitting in a chair all day. Like, you need to get up and be active, but also for more mental acuity reasons. Because we know there's research, and I can't apparently get into, more of the article here. But it goes on to talk about how some of these pot prizes are like 500,000, 1 million. I think Dota was like 25 million. I mean, there's ridiculous pots for these events, and they need these players need releases. They need places to de-stress. They need places to get the neurotransmitters that they need to de-stress, to decrease their cortisol levels, to get endorphins flowing and all that good stuff, all that good jazz scientifically about working out. But I'm glad esports teams are starting to hire trainers for this too. This needs to happen. If you're a streamer and you're watching and you are not active, I plead with you. Work out 4 days a week for an hour a day. I don't even care what you do. Like, we need to do this. Now, this is about esports, but streamers aren't really that different. You're spending a lot of time in a chair in front of a computer, and you need to go out and be active. So that's the news of the week, guys. I wish I could show you the rest of the article, but freaking, I don't know what the hell this is, what's happening here, but this is Stupid. This needs to happen. I'm happy to hear this. When I saw this, I wanted to share it with you guys. Please be active, okay? That's the short of the long there. Okay, last section, follower forum. So I'm going to open it up to chat. Chat, if you have any questions for me, any questions for me, you just let me know. You go ahead and leave it in chat. Now, as always, as I like to remind you guys, I can plead the fifth. I don't have to respond. If you're going to ask me a naughty question, I don't have to answer. Okay, that's kind of how that goes. I do have 2 pre-made questions, both from Tropy. So if you're still here, Tropy, love you.
Excellent.
How did you come up with the name Monumental? That's from Tropy. Well, I am a therapist by practice. I am a licensed therapist. And monumental is kind of a play on words. Obviously, monumental, if you combine the 2 words, it means like, you know, grand, be great. It reminds me of being great, doing something great, working hard to achieve greatness, something of that nature. Be monumental. And I think everybody should strive to become monumental. So that's one of the reasons that that is my name. But it's also kind of a play on words because if you separate the 2 and you just take mental, well, I'm a therapist and that's what I do. I do mental health. I do it. Thought it was pretty simple. So that's how I came up with Monumental, Tropy. Second question, also from Tropy. First streamer you ever watched? Co-Carnage. Co-Carnage is the first streamer I ever watched. And I freaking love that dude, man. Because he just doesn't care. Like, and he's so chill. And he loves single player games. He's literally me, but way better. He's me, but way better. He likes single player games. He likes talking through what's happening. He likes thinking and processing. He's chill. He's all about positive vibes. He's literally me, but better. So that was the first streamer I ever watched, and I was hooked from there. Manu doesn't mean anything, hear me. I just needed to separate it because when I made the username, apparently someone already had monumental without the underscore. So what are you going to do? But I also thought it was nice to have mental separated. Thoughts on the situation with LSU and their basketball program? I need more information. But if I will say this, they've hosed, they being the NCAA, the Miami Hurricane program, both in basketball and football, for boosters and allegations like this. And if they're going to do it to programs like Miami, they better do it to programs like LSU. And I do not care if they're in the SEC. They should suffer the consequences if that's true. Let's see, what else we got? What made you want to be a therapist and fitness buff originally? Any specific reason? Yes. So I was diagnosed at 5, somewhere on there, with ADHD, bipolar 2, conduct disorder, and oppositional defiant disorder. Now, at the time, you could have both oppositional defiant disorder and conduct disorder. Now you can only have one or the other, I believe. But at the time, I had all those. And I was in therapy from about 5 to 15. I was on medication from ages 5 to about 18. And then I was in over 11. I was in 11 different inpatient hospitals between 5 and about age 10 or 11. I can't really remember how old I was during my last one. But I was incredibly violent to the point where I'd be beating a kid up or whatever. And, he'd be passed out. You know what I mean? And I'd just keep punching. I had no conscience. I'd take bats to people. I would throw water guns at people's foreheads and split them open. I was just a very incredibly violent child. CPS tried to take me away from my mom, all sorts of things. So the last hospitalization I had, I was in 4th grade, so however old I was then, I was there for 3 months, and it was in Austin, Texas. And my mom told me, I love her to death, but she hoed me when she did this. She told me I was going to summer camp. Well, Monumental wasn't going to summer camp. Monumental was going to an inpatient hospital in Austin, Texas. So we get there, and they take us to the barracks in the dorms. And my mom opens the door for me so that I can go in, and then she slams it behind me. And it's one of those doors that has like the submarine window, like the little circular one. And I can see her on the other side of this window crying, and I'm bawling too. And so, I fall to the ground, and they try to like console me and like take me to my room, and I start biting them and like scratching at them. And so they have to sedate me and put me in one of those white padded rooms, like straight out of a movie, like all that kind of crap. That was my last hospital stay. That pretty much traumatized the crap out of me to the point where when I got back to school for 5th grade, I didn't talk to anybody. I was just like, you know, in my own world. So that's the short version. When I was 15, which was my last year in therapy, I decided I wanted to be in the field of psychology. I didn't know exactly what that meant, but I knew I wanted to be in the field of psychology. And then where fitness came in, just so I can wrap this up, not give the full story. How fitness came in is I was so angry that I needed an outlet. So what my parents wouldn't let me play sports because they were literally afraid that I would like kill somebody. So I was weightlifting. I would do weightlifting because you can't hurt the weight. So it became an outlet for me. Now I don't have those issues, but that's how I got into it. Yep. I love Co Carnage. Co Carnage is the best, man. He's the best. How much money would you charge to beat the crap out of me? $0 because I won't do that. I won't do that. That's an awful question. Why would you ask that, Hear Me? I'm very anti-violence now, guys. I'm not about that life. I'm a pacifist now. Okay, I'm not that bad, but thanks, man.
No problemo.
Appreciate it, 8-bit. Yeah, it's been a long road, man. Yeah. And that's why I originally started streaming. Well, one was because it's fun. Duh. Video games are fun. Also, duh. But I wanted to give gamers a voice. Video games have also been an outlet for me, especially when I was younger, because it was the one thing that could actually hold my attention without me like, going everywhere and doing everything all the time. Athletes and gamers are two populations that they entertain people every day. And yet for some reason we forget about them. I don't know how that works. You're like in front of people's faces every day. And yet we forget about all the trials and tribulations that gamers and streamers and YouTubers go through because it just looks like fun. You know what I mean? Like it just annoys the crap out of me. So that's actually why I started streaming, was to build a platform to speak on these types of things for people. But I don't know if it's ever going to grow big enough for that. How did my first stream go? My first stream ever? Dude, I streamed for no, I got affiliate in 6 weeks. So that was good. But my first stream ever was awful. My lighting was awful. It's not even that great now. But everything was just awful about it. My mic was awful. I had too much gain on it. It was horrible. Speaking of money, weren't you supposed to take your shirt off if someone donated 20 or more? Nope. We raised that price. So it wasn't 20. It's higher than that. And B, I have to okay that before it happens. I appreciate your drive, man. I'm glad you're using your platform that way. Well, we're trying to use it, 8-bit. We're trying, man. I know other people are trying. Like Razor's awesome, dude. Like Razor in chat, that guy, he's been through so much. He's a perfect example of what our community is about. And 8-bit, you're awesome too, man. And Tropy's gone through a lot, and she's a part of our community. And Hear Me. Oh, I mean, I don't want to air people's lives out, but Hear Me's been through a lot too. And Hear Me I know him IRL. He's just one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet on this planet, period. So we have it's a small community now, but we have a really, really good community going. And I think everybody's trying to use their platform for good. It's not just me. I think it's everybody in our community. I'll take my shirt off. Well, it's actually off right now. Boo! If he got to put pasties on nipples, no nipples allowed. Is that true? Could you get in trouble for that on Twitch? Is that a thing? I know, and Hear Me. I know a lot without knowing a lot, if you get what I'm saying. Man. Any other questions, guys? I'm going to wrap up follower forum for today. Is there anything else that you would like to ask? Or just tell me about yourself. Like one of my questions was, how did you come up with Monumental? How did you come up with Bit Daddy Dan? Or I know Hear Me, how you came up with yours. Tell me something about you guys. It doesn't have to be about me. You can even be a topic that you'd like to discuss. I have talked to Katie, but Katie hasn't told me anything. She's been very respectful of boundaries and everything, which is good. Girls show side boobs, so I guess nipples are the offenders. Yeah, little side boob. Music. There you go. There's a little side boob for you. Hear me says, I shower naked. I sleep naked too. Is that true? Dude, I'm a socks guy. So you can't see my freaking socks. I have to sleep with socks on. I'm that weird guy who has to sleep with socks on. And I have to have my feet out from underneath the covers because I feel like claustrophobic. I hate it. And I hate multiple blankets. Too heavy. Anything else, guys? 8-Bit, how did you come up with your name, man? I don't want this to be all about me. What about you guys? I have to sleep with something heavy on my feet. You're just making that up just to be opposite of me.
Take it back!
I know what you're doing there. I see what you're doing, hear me. You sneaky. You're just trying to be different. Manu showers with socks on. No, I don't. That I don't do. But my cat, Simba, does shower with me. That's true. Simba will sit, you know, where you put like... Typically, bats have like the 4 corners, and typically Simba will sit on like the back right corner. He likes to hit. Speaking of, let me show you guys Simba. Oh, you big boy. Oh, big boy. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is Simba. He showers with me. It's fine. What's my most anticipated movie of 2019? I don't even know what's coming out this year, dude. I have no idea. It's not Avengers, though. Hell no. I was originally Short Boy Willis since I'm 5'4", but since that seemed a bit weird at 22, I changed it to this because it sounded cool. But how'd you get 8-Bit? The Willis part makes sense. But how'd you get 8-Bit? I don't think Short Boy Willis sounds weird at 22. Looking at me so happy. You're just chilling. I'll send you a pic of the weighted vest I put on my feet to sleep. Hear me, you're making that up, man. There's no way that's true, brother. There's no way. Oh, come on. Okay, all right. Say goodbye. Look at him, he's freaking huge. I really love the 8/16-bit era of designs and stuff, I guess. Oh, really? Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to see Captain Marvel on Tuesday. Oh, heck no. I heard it wasn't as good as Aquaman. I thought Aquaman was pretty good, though. Felt weird being called Short Boy. Felt it would get worse as I got into my 30s. I don't listen, man. When I grew up, I gave up childish fears, including the fear of being childish. Fact. Hashtag monumental. So if you want to be called Short Boy Willis, do be called Short Boy Willis. Who cares? Whatever. It's totally fine. Anything else, guys? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Again, this show typically takes place on Sundays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We started a little bit early today. Tonic wasn't available. He's at a paintball tournament right now, so he's just a little busy. Aw, that's sad. Hear me? Without the dog. Oh, no, you're good, man. You're good, 8-Bit. Don't worry about it, brother. The circle of life. Ooh. I'm not going to sing for you guys. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I hope to see you guys next Sunday, likely at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, one more thing. NCAA tournament. March Madness is here. So my schedule is going to be all over the place. So you need to be on the lookout on Discord and Twitter for my schedule because it's going to change a lot because I don't miss the basketball games. Okay. So just be aware of that. It does say Sunday. It should say Sunday through Thursday, Monday through Thursday being 8 p.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays being 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But it's not going to be that over the next couple of weeks because of March Madness. So be aware of that. What's your greatest fear? My greatest fear is stagnation. I don't fear failure because I think failure is important for growth and success. I think failure is good. But I hate not changing. That makes sense. I hate remaining the same. Bothers the crap out of me. And my fear is that one day I'm going to wake up and be like, wow, I've been doing the same thing for years now. That sounds like hell, does it not? When I think of hell, I think of a place where you do the same thing over and over and over for all of eternity. And that's awful. That sounds awful. Since you asked, my username is because I donate to bits to a close friend and break him a lot. I donate to bits to a close friend and break him a lot. I don't get it. Hear me, you're so stupid. Yours is failure. That's a pretty common one. Public speaking is also very common. Yeah. I don't get it, BitDan. Since you asked, my username is because I donate to bits. I donate bits to a close friend and break him a lot. I don't get it. Yeah, no, I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I'm planning on being on tomorrow early. Not at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, but at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope to see you there. If you need anything from me, be sure to follow my social media links that you can see up here. And go ahead and shoot me a message, okay, guys? Alrighty, you guys take care, and I will see you mañana. Peace.